Now, Blitzship already includes a bunch of predefined infrastructure stacks for you to just get going with your SaaS business. You can find them here in the stacks folder, and let's just go through each of them to see what they're there for, how to work with them, and just simply how they look like. So the first one is the API stack. This one is pretty simple. It just sets up a endpoint for your Stripe webhooks to call into. It's fairly simple. You just do a new API, give it your custom domain name, so it will be hosted on a custom domain. Then add some routes. Now we only have one route, which is post to /billing/webhooks, and attach a handler to it. Then we pass some environment variables so that this handler will have access to those environment variables. We give it some permissions to send emails, and then that's it. Basically, whenever Stripe calls a webhook, it will go here. The handler will take it, and it will just work straight away. You can send emails from there, and so on. Then we have the auth stack. This sets up a DynamoDB table here, as you can see, a new DynamoDB table, which will be used by auth.js to store all kinds of user credentials in there. You won't have to actually query this database. This will all be handled by auth.js. So here we also create an auth user and a policy, which you don't really have to care about. We just pass those informations to auth.js so that it will have all of the permissions to store all of the user credentials in this database. Then we have a bucket stack. This stack is responsible for file uploads. So we just create one new bucket here for assets, which will allow people to upload, for example, images on your SaaS app and store them here. And then also we have a second bucket, which is the public assets bucket, which you can use to simply host images or videos for your landing page. So you can just put them into this bucket and then get a URL and then show them on your website. Then we have a Dynamo stack. This will create a DynamoDB table for our main application. We create a bunch of indexes for querying on it, and then we export it to be used in different stacks. Then we have the email stack, which will set up transactional email sending from your custom domain. So if you have a custom domain, it will just work straight away. It will set up all the necessary DNS records. It will create encryptions, and it will create some verifications so that your emails won't land in the spam folder. And once this is set up, basically you can send, for example, sign-in notifications or verification emails, or you can send out emails once someone paid you through Stripe, and everything will be sent out from your custom domain through Amazon's simple email servers. Then we have the next stack. This will set up two Next.js websites using the Next.js site construct here. Basically, we have the landing page, with a bunch of environment variables, and then we have the main app, also with a bunch of environment variables. And this will host everything on AWS using CloudFront for super fast delivery, and basically this mimics everything that Vercel does for you. And here it's the same, just that there's no Vercel in between. Everything is hosted on AWS, and it's so much cheaper, and everything is set up for you here. And lastly, we have a secret stack. This is not really an infrastructure stack. It's just the main central place to import all of your environment variables and then reuse them across all the other stacks. So as you can see, this returns all of the environment variables. And if you want to reuse them, for example, in the email stack, what you do is import this use method from SST, pass the secret stack in there, and then you can basically get them here and then pass them around your infrastructure as you need. And then, of course, there's also README. So if you want to read up on what all of those stacks are for, just go through the README and you'll be fine.